Hi everybody, David Harper here and welcome to Beat the Expert. If you've seen my previous shows, you'll know it's not difficult to beat the expert. So today I'm at Dougalby Stevenson in York. I'm going to show you three fascinating objects about to be sold in auction. I'll put my prediction on their sale price. You can put your prediction on the sale price, and if you get closer to the final hammer price than me, you beat me. So let me show you three wonderful, interesting objects, and I think one or two are going to surprise. So we're going to start with something oriental and exotic. I love it. It is a Chinese ginger jar. Estimated 150 to 250 pounds. I think this will be a bit of a shocker. I'm going to explain why in a minute. The second object is 19th century, it's Victorian, it screams the British Empire. It's made from exotic Coromandel wood. It's a games compendium, also constructed from ivory. It's legal, don't worry, I'll explain briefly the laws around ivory. This is £400 to £600. What do you think about that? And then the final item is this gorgeous chair by Milo Baughman, a very famous 20th century designer, and I want to buy it, estimated at £400 to £500. And if I do get it, I'm going to make some profit. So let's get our teeth into each and every item and then watch them sell. See if you can beat the expert. Let's start then with the ginger jar. Right, now here is something I think is very interesting indeed. So, a Chinese ginger jar. Now these things are called ginger jars because they were basically designed for food storage ginger as well. So it just works as a description. Now you might be surprised to hear that Chinese ginger jars from the 18th and 19th century can be very inexpensive, 100 quid, 200 quid, thereabouts. But I think this one, even though it's only estimated at 150 to 250, is a bit special. The decoration itself is much rarer than the standard. So you've got sprays of bamboo here, you've got waterways. It's obviously painted in that traditional Chinese blue and white background, and you've got a rocky outcrop, but the painting itself is much better than standard provincial, because this is how you would describe this thing. It's quite roughly potted, but to a higher standard than the ordinary. And these things are very difficult to date. No character marks here, so I can't read to tell you under which emperor this thing was constructed. However, do you see the two circular marks, the two rings there? Now this is really interesting because I know that these two rings were very popular during the Kanchi period, which, if we're lucky, will date this pot to 1662 to 1722, because it was an unusual time. It was quite popular during this period for Chinese pieces to have the double rings here, but no Chinese character marks to read, so no Chinese script, just simply the two rings, which makes this thing potentially quite exciting. So it's got the age, it's got a lovely hardwood stand, and it has a cover made to fit. So at some point in the distant past, somebody went to great expense to flounce this ginger jar up to make it into a really interesting ornament. And when you consider that Chinese porcelain pottery was worth fortunes in the 18th century because we couldn't make porcelain to this standard, you can understand why someone has spent so much money in making this thing a lovely ornament. And out of interest, do you know where you get the saying pot luck comes from? Well, apparently it comes from the Chinese manufacturing of ginger jars, because each and every ginger jar, you can see looking at the top there, would have, when new, a pottery lid, a pot lid to go on top of the ginger jar. And apparently when they were shipped off in crates in their thousands all over the world, particularly to the West, You would have crates of standard ginger jars and then crates of pot lids to go on top of the ginger jars. And the idea was you get a ginger jar and a lid, and you would take pot luck to see if the lid fitted the jar. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, and I don't care because it's a great story. Anyway, over to the valuation and my prediction. I think this is special. I think it's Kanchi period, estimated at 150 to 250. My prediction is £400. That's where I am. What about you? What's your prediction? See if you can beat me. If your prediction is closer to the hammer price, you win. Let's go and watch it sell.
Lot 1, the ginger jar then, plenty of interest in it. Starting bids are with me on the serum.com now at £420. It's over to you now at £420. And the advance that we see there at £420. £420 now. 440 is it? All over. 420 now, 440, 460, 460 climbing now, 480, 500, £500, 600 now rising at £600. Then the advance we see at 600, 650, 650, 700. £700 is bid now at £700. And the advance we see at 700, 750, thank you, 750, £750, 800, 800.
Oh dear, here we go again. It's already double my prediction.
50 we've got, 850, 900, £900 is bid here at 900, £900 now. 950 is next, we've bid away at 950 now, £950 around at 950. £1,000 is next and bid at 1,000, and £1,000, 1,100 next. 1,100, thank you, £1,100, and the advance we see at 1,100. £1,100 I've got now. £1,100 it is, at £1,100. Any further bids do we see now? Click that button if you want to be in. Another £100 for 1,200. We're in now at £1,200. There we are, £1,200. 1,300 is next now, £1,200. Any further bids? 1,200, 1,300 now. At 1,300 now. At £1,300 we've got at 1,300. At £1,300 now. At £1,300 out. Competitions on the platforms. Telephone as well at £1,300. Any further bids do we see now? 1,300. I'm selling. The gavel's up. Make your mind up time at 1,400 now. Last minute bid at 1,400. 1,500 is next. At £1,400 now. At £1,400. At £1,400. We'll take the 1,500 if you want to bid. 1,500 bid at 1,500 now. £1,500 I've got it. £1,500 now. £1,500. All done at £1,500 now. Flash of the gavel at 1,500. Any further bids do we see? We'll sell away. All done at £1,500. Coming down at £1,500.
Oh well, I was only £1,100 out on my valuation. How did you do? Did you beat me? Okay, now let's see if I can do a bit better on the games compendium. Nice thing this. And this really is very, very posh. And it is harking back to the height of the British Empire. And it's made from parts taken from all around the British Empire. You've got the ivory there. Now it is legal, by the way, to sell antique ivory. Anything made pre-1947 is legal to sell. This, we know, was made in the 19th century. And we know, in actual fact, the very day it was made. Just take a look at this. This is a lozenge mark, and if you can read lozenge marks, and they're not rocket science, it'll tell you everything you need to know. This was made on the 29th of November in 1869. We've got a maker's mark there for Allen, number 37, The Strand, London, of course. The wood itself, Coromandel wood, taken more than likely, I would say, from Sri Lanka, possibly India. You just can't get your hands on this wood anymore. It is related to the ebony tree and is, as you can see, delicious beyond belief. The quality here is actually quite astonishing, and there's so much going on inside this little box. You've got cribbage, you've got drafts, obviously chess, you've got little dice, games, cards, and lined in satin wood. It's just positively dripping in sophistication. So very strong market for these things, estimated at £400 to £600. What's your prediction? Well, I'm going to say this. you would very likely pay a couple of £1,000 for this in a posh London shop. Why wouldn't you? You just would. You can't make them new anymore. You've got no access, of course, rightly so, to ivory, certainly no access to Coromandel wood. You can't replace it. I think in auction, my prediction, it's going to make £700. That's my prediction. I'm supposed to be an expert. That's where I am. Where are you? Can you beat me? Go on, have a go. What's your prediction? If your prediction is closer to the hammer price, you win. Let's go and see what it sells for.
Plenty of pre-auction bids, and away now with me at 500, 550 we've got. At £550. Any further bids do we see at 550, 600, 650? £650 is bid now at £700. I'm bid now at 700. That's £700.
700, get that hammer down.
£700. Any further bids do we see now? 700. All done, got to go. Sarah.com bidder now, £700. All done. Make your mind up time, we're selling away at £700. All done.
Well, thank goodness for that. 700. Bang on. Let me know, how did you do? And now, let's go and try and buy a chair. A quick shout out to the guys in the background there, the auction staff, who are very understanding with me making lots of noise. Cheers, guys. Oh, come on, just take a look at this chair. Is it not drop dead gorgeous? I want this chair so desperately badly, it's unbelievable. So, designed by a very famous chap called Milo Baughman. He's an American designer, prolific from the 1950s right through the 1970s. And this thing screams 20th century high fashion, high design. I think the material is original. It's made from teak. It is not just teak, it's sleek. Look at the design. It's a rocking chair. Look, it rocks. And it's also a recliner. You've got a little lever here, like a car gear lever. Stick it in position and it stays exactly where you want it to stay. Now, estimated £400 to £500. Now, the market for these things is mainly in America. But if I can get it for just under £4, I'm going to bid $360 plus 30% commission. Put it online, check somewhere like First Dibs. You'll find Milo's pieces selling for several hundreds and several thousands. But when you do find a client for something like this, you know, the shipping costs involved, potential damage, insurance, difficulties, problems, but it's worth taking a punt. So my prediction on the Milo chair, estimated at £400 to £500, is my bid at $360. That's more of a hope than anything else. But over to you. How much do you think this super cool mid to late 20th century chair is really worth? If your predicted price is closer to the auction hammer price, then you beat me. Good luck. Let's go and see how much it sells for. Thanks, guys. Brilliant.
25 then is the Milo Baughman there then, the Danish teak framed rocking and reclining lounge chair. Lot 725 there, another good lot today. Mid-century pieces there, 320, 340, 360 I'm bid now, £360 I'm bid at 360 all done. 360 I'm bid, 380 coming in now, £380 all done by the lot there, got to go, still climbing. Still climbing now. Bidding's at £420 now. Any further bids do we see at 420? All done. £420. Any further bids now? DS Live now at £420 and selling.
Oh, I thought I was going to get it there at 360. So close. But listen, I'm not worried, because in this business, you've got to know when to walk away. To make money, you've got to get things at the right price. If you don't, move on. Okay, here we go. Well, that's it, the end of another episode of Beat the Expert. How did you do? Did you beat me? Leave some comments down below. Get in touch and keep coming back for more shows like it. Until next time, I'm David Harper. Cheerio. Show a bit more enthusiasm, boys, honestly. See you.